Mr. Lyng, thank you for taking the time out of your day to interview with Reach's student. I have a few questions that I would like to ask you. As the current Assistant Headmaster of the school, can you tell us how long you've been at Windermere Prep and describe some of your duties and responsibilities at Windermere Prep?
Sure. This is my second school year as the Assistant Head of School. It's my fourth year overall at Windermere Prep. The first 2 years that I was here, I served as the high school director. In my current job, my primary responsibilities are simply understood as anything that has to do with teaching and learning in the school. So I'm in charge of the academic program at an executive level, and in that role I supervise the divisional directors. I evaluate the effectiveness of academic programming. I'm also responsible for any implementation of new programs, as well as the professional development program for the teachers.
Since our school is part of the Meritas International Family of Schools, can you tell us a little about how being part of Meritas benefits our school community?
I sure can. As you may or may not know, Meritas has 10 schools. So we have 9 sister schools all over the world. There are 7 schools in the United States. We have a school in Switzerland, a school in China, and a school in Mexico. And one of the essential benefits that we have is the ability to test, prove, and replicate best teaching practices across our schools. So programs that implement very well in our school are studied and implemented in other schools in our network, and vice versa. So all of the schools benefit from that relationship.
What are some qualities that you like to see in WPS students?
Well, we talk a lot in our literature and in our programming about critical thinking and complex problem solving as the primary goals that we have for the students in terms of their growth and development. There are 2 other qualities that I talk about a lot with teachers that we want to see developed in our students, and that is students who are intrinsically motivated and self-directed to do well. I think that students that bring those 2 qualities to the table will be successful almost anywhere.
As a respected administrator, I am hoping that you can share a story from when you were a student that you think could serve as a tip for students today.
Well, I'll talk about an experience that I had when I was in college, when I was an undergraduate. And I found myself in a major in school that I actually learned that I wasn't very interested in. And I remember vividly deciding one day as I was walking across campus that I wanted to be a teacher, and walked straight over to the student center, dropped my classes for the next semester, changed my major, and enrolled in a teaching program. And that was no small feat, because it was not what I felt others wanted me to do, but it was that moment when I took charge of my own destiny, my own path, and I became the owner of my future, that my entire relationship with school changed. I became a much happier person. I became a better student, and I think the lesson there is that while it may sound cliche, I think when a person follows their heart and follows their own destiny without being ultra concerned about what others want for them, that's a path to happiness and success.
From your experience as the director of high school and your current role as the assistant headmaster, what tips or suggestions can you share that you think could benefit our high school students during their college application process?
That's a great question, and something that everyone's really interested in, particularly as they move into the sophomore year or junior year of high school. And for anyone who's viewing this that has not been in attendance at some of our information sessions given by Peter Van Buskirk who's a speaker that we bring to the school, I highly encourage that. But I will summarize his message by saying that the most successful students in the college admissions process tell their story, and they focus in on something that they're passionate about in places where they can make a difference, and they go out and apply for schools with the attitude of, I'm going to find a school that fits my direction and my passion, rather than trying to mold themselves to get into a particular school. That simple change of mindset has a tremendously positive impact on the entire process.
Besides high schoolers, do you have any advice for our students in middle and lower school?
I do, and this is one of those things that's easily said and sometimes can be challenging for people. But the best advice that I could give to a middle school student or an upper elementary student who's beginning to think ahead and look at the future is to try to be focused on the moment, make the most of where you are at that time, be engaged and involved in your school, join clubs, be in sports, and follow your passions and interests, and not get too overly focused on the far future, and not to be so grade motivated and hungry for those straight A's that you're not able to experience some of the more enjoyable aspects of the school experience.
Thank you again for allowing us to take this interview with you today. Is there anything else you would like to share?
I don't think so. I think we've covered it pretty well. Thank you.
Thank you.